Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And this article comes to you guys from investing.com. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you guys can check it out. Quick disclaimer, I'm no financial expert, no stock expert, so don't go buy, sell, and trade any of your stock based on my opinion. But it does look like some financial analysts are starting to give T-Mobile an even higher price target than ever before. So some are expecting T-Mobile to come back with a bigger bang than ever before. Even though we recently had, the huge drop in the stock because of slower growth. And I think T-Mobile is currently trading at $247. So that's a huge, tall task for T-Mobile to get over 300. But according to Tigris Financial Partners, they're bullish. Their 12-month price target is $305 from a previous target that seemed to have been lower. So it's interesting, and I've seen a few others that have higher price targets too. 300, it's very achievable for T-Mobile at their current trajectory, right? Even though they changed plans, keep this in mind. I've seen this as an argument that some people are saying, well, T-Mobile's growth is not going to be as high as it once was because of these new plans. If that was the case, T-Mobile would have changed their guidance. They kept their growth and their end of year targets the exact same, even with these new plans. And they are still expecting a 60% take rate of the premium plans. So, we just have to go by what's on black and white. And even though they were a little bit lower than the estimates in Q1, they still said they would come in at between 5.5 to 6 million customers for the year. And they anticipate 50% of that to be postpaid nets. So that would be between 2.5 and 3 million. So that's still a good number. That's still a really good, healthy number for T-Mobile. So just let that sink in, right? On the premium side, arguably they have the highest cost plans, right? If you now include taxes and fees and everything else. Then they can still grow at the same clip, according to them, and quote unquote say this is their highest growth year in company's history. To have the highest financials now, highest free cash flow, we'll see if they can maintain that on a quarterly basis. They did it in Q1. We'll see if they can maintain that through Q2, Q3, and Q4. Highest free cash flow, right? If they can maintain that type of growth with the higher financials and raise price on top of that for legacy plans, they should have some outstanding financials, right, moving forward. It might take a couple of more quarters or maybe a couple more years of guidance, but they should have the highest free cash flow in the industry in a couple of years by a long shot. Like I said, everything free cash flow wise from AT&T and Verizon that has the fiber part baked into it. T-Mobile hasn't even gotten started on that yet. Their majority of the free cash flow comes from wireless. Now, some have made the argument that T-Mobile's free cash flow would be lower if they invested more in their wireless capex. That while that's true, T-Mobile is able to do everything that they want to with the $9 to $9.5 billion that they've been investing. Their churn was just a little bit higher than Verizon's, and Verizon is spending double the amount of capex. Just think about that. Right? If the T-Mobile's capex wasn't enough, right? Just think about it like this, put it in perspective. If T-Mobile's capex wasn't enough, it didn't do enough for the network, T-Mobile's churn should be far higher than Verizon's. Because now it's a different ball game, right? Everybody's price is going up. The new plans are higher. So most of the churn is likely coming from the price increases. Right? But if the network just wasn't up to par and the $9 billion just wasn't working, then people aren't going to stick around anymore because the price is going up, right? So the network must be better now than it was And the 9.5 billion must be enough to keep everyone as happy as T-Mobile possibly can. It just makes sense, right? You would think if T-Mobile's network was worse and bad and the 9 billion wasn't enough, then T-Mobile's churn should be much higher to 1% or over 1%. But they were just barely worse than Verizon. Verizon came in at 0.90. T-Mobile came in at 0.91. So just take all of that into perspective. As we move forward through the second quarter, and then we get earnings, I think in June, if I remember that correctly, and we'll see how it goes. Right, we'll definitely see how it goes. But it looks like financial analysts are expecting a much bigger comeback from T-Mobile than ever before. A $300 price target is crazy from where T-Mobile has came from. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe if you're new. Follow my social media outlets. This is Tyrone with Tech Live. See y'all in the next one. Peace.